Okay, another path tracer video. Designing and implementing a VLSM addressing scheme. Okay. First, for our profile. Email. This is from the last video. Currently we are handbraking the last video. Okay. So path tracer, designing and implementing a VLSM addressing scheme. So we are having we have here the addressing table. Okay, so building 1, building 2. Okay, we have 2 routers here. ASW 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that is for our switch. Host A, host B, host C, and host T. Okay. So objectives is for part 1, examine the network requirements. Part 2 is design the VLSM addressing scheme. Part 3 is assign IP addresses to device and verify connectivity. So background is, in this activity you are given a /24 network address to use and design a VLSM addressing scheme. So based on the set of requirements, you will assign subnets and addressing, configure devices, and verify connectivity. Okay, so part 1 is examine the network requirements. Step 1 is determine the number of subnets needed. So we will subnet the network address 192.168.72.0/24. The network has the following requirements. Okay, so for this first switch, we have 7 host IP address. Switch 2 is 15 host IP address. 3 is 29, and 4 is requiring 58 IP address. So how many subnets are needed in the network topology? So we have 1 here, 2, 3, 4, and 5 for the 1 links. Okay, so step 2 is determine the subnet mask information for each subnet. So which subnet mask will accommodate the number of IP addresses required for is 1, okay, 2, 3, 4. So first one is which subnet mask will accommodate the number of IP addresses required for the connection between, okay, we have the /30. So first one, we need to write down the information. So we have 192.168.72.0/34. So the largest LAN is the ASW 4. So we require 58 host address. So let's see. Switch subnet mask. So we need to require 58 hosts. So I think /26 will do. /26 subnet mask provides 60 addresses. 255.255.192. So it's 62 addresses. Then the next one is wait. But okay, we will first determine the for AS1. For 1 is 7 host IP addresses. Let's see, so 1, 2, 3, 4. So for 1 we have 7 host IP address. So we need to borrow 1. So 30 is for 2, 4. Then 29 is 8. So it's 28. 255, the 255. So /28 is 28, 240. So I think it will provide, how many is it? 14 addresses. because 248 is 8, this is address. Then 252 is 4 address. If I'm correct, let's see. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I think we have okay. So 15 host address, let's see. So 128, 64, 32, 16. So 14 address now. So it's slash 25, 26, 27, 28. So slash 28. Then this is slash 26. Then this is 15 host address, so it's slash 27 dot 224, so it's slash 27, so 30 address, right? Then 29 address, so it's also 224 slash 27, 30 address. Hi. Then for the last one is we have 255 5.252, it's slash 30. So we provide two addresses. So design the VLSM addressing scheme. So step 1 is divide the 1 into 168.72.0/24 network based on the number of hosts per subnet. Divide the 1 into based on the number of subnet. So use the first subnet to accommodate the largest LAN. So our largest LAN is the number 4. Okay. So it's slash 26. So we have 1 and 2.168.72.0 slash 26. So our first address is 1. Our last address would be 62. Because 64 is another. 63 is the broadcast address. 63 is the broadcast address. Okay, so I think correct. This is a second subnet to accommodate the second largest LAN. So our second largest LAN is 2 and 3. So 15 and 29 hosts. Okay. So 192.168.72 slash, so I think 64 slash 27. It will start on 64. So our first address would be 65. And then so 64 plus 32 is 96. 95 is the broadcast. 94, so it should be 94. 94 is our last address. So the next one is, so this is for 1, this is 2, 3, 192.168.72. So we're on the 96 network. 96/27. So our first address would be 97, and then our last address is 96 plus 32 is 108. 128. 32. 128. 127 is the broadcast, so 126 is our last source address. Next is accommodate the number 8. Fourth subnet to accommodate the fourth largest LAN, which is the /28. Okay. So 192.168.72.128/28. So our first address would be 19129. Our last address would be how did I complete this? So 128 plus 16. So we have Alex. So 128 plus 16 is 134. So 144. Alex. So 144 is our next address, 143 is the broadcast, and 142 is our last address. Okay. Next is to accommodate the connection between. So we have 592.168.72. So 144 network. 28 is 16. So /30. So we only got 145 and 146. So complete the subnet table is the subnet descriptions. Okay. The network address for the subnet, for its usable address. The network address. Okay, we have the network address. We should compute the broadcast address. So the broadcast address would be 63, 95, 127, 143, and then 147. This is the IDR. Network address. So document the addressing schemes. So assign the first usable IP address to building 1 for the 2 LAN links and 1 LAN. Assign the first usable IP address to building 2 for the 2 LAN links. Assign the last usable address. What? Assign the first usable IP address to building 1 for the 2 LAN links. First usable building 1. Assign the first usable IP address to building 2 for the 2 LAN links. Assign the last usable IP for the so assign the second usable to the switches. Assign the last usable. So part 3 is assign IP addresses to devices and verify connectivity. So most of the IP addressing is already configured on this network. Implement the following steps to complete the addressing configuration. So I think we're done with the handbraking. So step 1 is configure IP addressing on building 1 LAN interfaces. Step 2 is configure IP addressing on ASW3. Okay, so including the default gateway. Configure IP addressing on a host D. Okay. So verify connectivity. So first one is configure IP addressing on building 1 LAN interfaces. Okay. assign the first is a quality. Okay. Building 1. Let's see. Preferences. Okay. Let's see. So we have gigabit 0 slash. What is the I can see the link. Let's see. This is the 0 slash 0. I can see the ports. Let's see. Seven hosts. This is for switch 1. Then switch to S30. Right. Host C is 30 also. So we'll be assigning this interface here as, so let's see. So on host A, on this host we will be assigning this 4, and for host B we will be assigning that 64. Let's see. So let's see if our I don't know the port. So CDP neighbors. Let's see. Building 2. Okay, we don't have for the switch. So interface C0/0. So we will be just assume that this is the gigabit 0/0. Okay. So IP address. So just let's see on our score. So IP address. So we will be using this, right? So 192.168.72.129. Our subnet mask would be 255.240. Then no shutdown. Let's see if our score. Okay, we got our score there. Next is the exit. So interface G0/1. Next we will be using this address here, the 64/77. Okay, so IP address 192.168.72.65. Then it is 255.255.224. Okay, and no shutdown. See fire score. Okay. Next is for the serial link. So interface 0000. So we'll be using this one. So 192.168.72.145. Oops. Address. Then 255.252. No shutdown. Let's see our score. There is no score for it. So next is IP addressing on ASWA3. Okay. ASWA3. We don't have score for serial link. Config T. So ASW3, so it's on the host, so network with 29 hosts. So okay, we'll be using this one. So the IP address for the switches is the second usable host. So we'll be using 98 because 97 is for the default gateway. So 98. So interface VLAN 1, IP address 192.168.72.98. Then 255.255.224. Okay, then no shutdown. So we're getting correct answers. And then also the default gateway. So IP default gateway. So it is 192.168.72.97. Okay. Next is, let's see, addressing on host B. Stop IP config. Okay, so on host D we have 58 hosts, the largest LAN. Let's see. So assign the last usable IP address to the host. Okay. So we're on the largest LAN, so it is this /26. So our last usable host is 62. So 192.168.72.62. Our subnet mask is 240. Default gateway is 192.168.72.1. Okay, so we got, obviously we got wrong answers here. So let's see. Command prompt ping first. Building 1. Let's ping R. Going to the 168 dot. .145. Let's see. I will ping in this serial link here. The host B. So I ping the host B. So I configured with it with, let's say, 94. Okay. So for host A, so they got 7 hosts. So I used the 142. Okay, we're also getting a reply. Then for 29 or host C, so we use the 126. Let's say 126. So obviously, oops, destination host unreachable. Okay. So I think we can communicate with host A and host B, but for host C we can't communicate. Let's see. Why is it? Let's see our check results. We have incorrect IP address, but we have a correct subnet mask. Okay, so host D, we have incorrect subnet mask. Gigabit. For building 1, we have incorrect IP address. Okay, so I think we have, so it should be the IP address. I think it should be the IP address of, because we don't have, okay, so it is both /27, right? Okay, let's see, because it requires more hosts on the hosts. Okay, so because we configured this LAN here with that 64, this network here, so it must be the host C because it has the more hosts. Okay, so for building 1, so that's it. So interface C0/1, no IP address, so 192.168.72. What is my .65? 255.255.4. We erase that IP address. So the IP address must be 97. Oops, 97. Correct. Okay. Now for switch 3, so we have interface VLAN 1. No IP address. So it should be an IP address of 66. Okay. And then our default gateway would be, let's see, let's exit this first. So our IP default gateway would be 65. Okay. So 28, let's see. Subnet mask for host D. Okay, we have incorrect subnet mask Y. So let's see what is our subnet mask configured for this. 240. Okay, so it should be the largest LAN, so /26. So it should be 192. Okay. So I think I copied this. So it should be 192. We got 30 over 30 completion. So the good thing is we are on the spot troubleshooting our mistakes. So I think that's it.